Think of a football team being so dangerous from a corner kick that the other fans start to cover their eyes when one is awarded. The ball goes in the air, and everyone in the stadium just expects a goal. That is the reality for Arsenal Football Club right now, a team that has turned set pieces into their own personal superpower. The numbers are hard to believe. In the current Premier League season, Arsenal is leading the entire league in goals from set pieces. A massive portion of their goals come from these dead ball situations, making them one of the most consistent threats in the world from corners and free kicks. This is not an accident. This is a plan, a science, and a new blueprint for winning football matches. It has changed the way Arsenal plays the game, and is now forcing every other team to pay attention and try to copy it. So, the question becomes, how did a team known for beautiful passing football become the kings of the corner kick? The story starts with one man who thinks about football a little bit differently. His name is Nicolas Jover, Arsenal's set-piece coach. He was born in Germany, raised in France, and his journey to becoming a tactical genius took a very unusual turn. In his early 20s, he moved across the ocean to Quebec, Canada, to study sports science at a university there. While in North America, he was not just studying soccer. He was watching American football and basketball, sports where every single play is designed, practiced, and full of tricks to fool the opponent. He started to wonder, what if you could bring that kind of thinking to a soccer field? What if a corner kick was not just a hopeful cross, but a designed play with decoy runners and secret signals, just like a quarterback calling a play in the NFL? He started testing these ideas early, even drawing up plays with secret code names for his university team. He called one of his first corner routines Cortland, named after a place they had visited. It was all about deception, or what he calls in French, fausse piste, creating a false trail to trick the defense. Back then, it was just an experiment. Players were not full-time professionals, defenses were not deeply analyzed, and the stakes were low. But the principles were already there. Movement to mislead, timing to create separation, and precision instead of hope. Today, those same principles sit at the heart of Arsenal's dominance. What makes Jover's thinking so powerful is that he treats set pieces as repeatable situations. In open play, football is chaotic. You cannot fully control where the ball will go or how opponents will react. But a corner kick is different. Everyone starts in a known position. The ball is stationary. The environment is controlled. To Jover, that makes it an opportunity, not a gamble. Every corner becomes a small puzzle with a solution that can be practiced hundreds of times. Jover brought his unique ideas to professional football, first helping a team called Brentford become dangerous from set pieces. Brentford did not have superstar players or unlimited budgets, but suddenly they were competing with teams far richer than them. Set pieces became their edge. From there, Jover moved to Manchester City, where he refined his ideas even further, working with world-class players and elite analysts. But his real impact began in 2021 when he followed manager Mikel Arteta to Arsenal. Arteta knew Jover was special and gave him one clear mission: turn our set pieces into a weapon. Jover did much more than that. He built a machine. So, what makes Arsenal's set pieces so different and so hard to stop? It is not just about having tall players who are good at heading the ball, though that helps. It is about structure, timing, and psychology. Arsenal do not rely on chaos. They create it for others. Think of it like a magician's trick. The audience believes they are watching the important movement, while the real danger is happening somewhere else entirely. First, Arsenal almost always prefer to swing the ball inward toward the goal from a corner. An in-swinging delivery creates uncertainty. The goalkeeper has to decide whether to stay on the line or attack the ball. Defenders have to face their own goal, which is the most uncomfortable position to defend from. Even a slight touch can send the ball into the net. This choice alone increases the margin for error in Arsenal's favor. Then comes the movement. Arsenal players rarely stand still. Multiple players will cluster together, forcing defenders to make decisions. Do they mark space or follow their man? As the corner taker runs up, players explode into motion. Some sprint toward the near post, some pull toward the back, and others make aggressive runs that they never intend to finish. These are decoy runs, designed purely to drag defenders away from the real target. This is the false trail Jover talks about. The defense thinks they have identified the threat, but the real danger is arriving late, fast, and unmarked. The true target, often a dominant aerial player like Gabriel, will begin in an unthreatening position. He might even appear blocked or tightly marked. Then, at the final second, a teammate sets a subtle screen, similar to a basketball pick, preventing the defender from tracking him. Gabriel changes direction, attacks the ball with momentum, and suddenly, he has a free header from 6 yards out. It looks chaotic, but it is anything but. Every movement is timed, every run has a purpose. Arsenal practice these routines relentlessly. They study opponents to understand how they defend corners. Do they use zonal marking, man-to-man, a hybrid system? Jover adjusts his designs accordingly. One routine might be used only once all season, saved specifically for a certain opponent. Others are repeated until teams become obsessed with stopping them, which then opens space for a new variation. It is an arms race inside the 90 minutes. The proof is not just in training ground footage or tactical diagrams, it is in the results. Former players turned pundits have openly admitted their fear when Arsenal win a corner. One said that as an opposing fan, he puts his head in his hands every time Arsenal get a corner because it feels like a goal is coming. That psychological edge matters. Defenders panic, they overcommit, they lose focus for a split second, and at this level, that is enough. In one season alone, Arsenal scored 20 goals from set pieces with 16 coming directly from corners, matching a Premier League record. In the current campaign, they continue to lead the league. What used to be one of the most unpredictable moments in football has become one of Arsenal's most reliable weapons. When open play breaks down, when space is tight, when nerves are high, they always have a plan. Now consider how this changes the entire match dynamic. Opponents become terrified of conceding corners. Fullbacks hesitate to block crosses. Midfielders pull out of tackles near the box. Even clearances are rushed, just to avoid giving Arsenal another opportunity. That fear alters decision-making all over the pitch. Arsenal are not just scoring goals from set pieces, they are controlling behavior. The impact of Arsenal's success has spread far beyond North London. They have not just mastered set pieces, they have triggered a league-wide shift in thinking. For years, modern football was obsessed with possession, patterns, and intricate passing moves. Set pieces were often treated as secondary. Arsenal proved that this was a mistake. A well-drilled corner routine can be as valuable as the most beautiful passing sequence. For teams with smaller budgets, this is honestly revolutionary. You can't always buy world-class attackers, but you can buy analysis, preparation, and intelligent coaching. A single corner routine, executed perfectly, can decide a match. That realization has, changed recruitment and coaching structures across the Premier League. As a result, the role of the set-piece coach has exploded in importance. Clubs like Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest, and Chelsea rush to appoint specialists of their own. Training sessions now include long periods dedicated to defending and attacking dead ball situations. Analysts spend hours breaking down movements frame by frame. Arsenal, guided by Nicolas Jover's ideas, forced everyone else to catch up. But dominance never lasts forever. Every system invites a response, and Arsenal's system, for all its strengths, carries risk. To overload the penalty area, Arsenal commit many players forward. That means space is left behind them. Most teams are just too afraid to exploit it. They drop everyone back and hope to survive. But what if a team was brave enough to do the opposite? A recent European match offered a glimpse of that answer. When Arsenal faced Paris Saint-Germain, PSG left 2 or 3 rapid attackers near the halfway line during Arsenal's corners. Their logic was simple. If we win the ball, we counter immediately into the empty space. It was dangerous, but it forced Arsenal to think. It challenged the assumption that corners are always safe. This raises a fascinating tactical question. Does Arsenal's hunger for control and dominance create a vulnerability? Can speed encourage undue structure and planning? Football constantly evolves, and what works today invites solutions tomorrow, which leads to the final challenge. As teams study Arsenal's routines, as analysts dissect every movement, how will Nicolas Jover respond? Will he innovate again? Will new layers of deception appear? Because if there is one lesson this story teaches, it is that standing still means falling behind. For now, Arsenal's set-piece dominance remains one of the defining features of the modern Premier League. It is the story of how a different way of thinking, inspired by sports thousands of miles away, reshaped the game. It proves that even in football's most traditional moments, innovation can thrive. The corner kick was once a hopeful cross. For Arsenal, it is now a calculated strike, practiced endlessly, feared universally. They did not just learn how to score from set pieces. They wrote a playbook the rest of the league is desperately trying to copy. So what's the next big idea a team will steal to win? The arms race has only just begun. If you enjoyed this deep dive into football's hidden tactics, be sure to give the video a like. It really helps us out. Subscribe so you don't miss our next breakdown of the game's smartest strategies. Think a friend would find this interesting? Go ahead and share it with them. Thanks for watching.